Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Raising Vibrations with myself, Simon. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my insights and understandings on the astrological symbol and archetype Leo. So basically, as everybody has known so far, I've been doing a series on the 12 signs, and basically today, I guess, like I said, is Leo. So for anybody that hasn't been following the series, I highly recommend that you go ahead and start with Aries right in the beginning, because the way in which I describe how the symbols work correlates to a evolutionary path or road or whatever you'd like to call it, but it's basically with an evolutionary intent. So every symbol that comes after the previous symbol has an evolutionary nature to it, and so to better understand every single sign, if you haven't watched the sign before it, then obviously that will sort of not allow for a complete understanding. So go ahead and check that out over there. I will put a link in the on the video right now to the Aries archetype, and click on that and start over there, and that will obviously help. So Leo, for instance, what are we talking when we're looking at the symbol Leo, or the archetype of the fifth house, and also the sun, the symbol of the sun? They're all the three. Again, as you know, it all correlates to the law of Trinity. So what we're looking at here is the nature of three. And so Leo, the fifth house, and the sun all correlate to the same type of vibration, same sort of archetype in itself. So for anybody that has symbols in Leo, or has a sun sign in Leo, or planets in the fifth house, or have got aspects that are, or anything that's touching the sun in the astrology chart, this would be some information for you. Okay, so firstly, the evolutionary intent of Leo from the point of view of the Zodiac is it's reached a point in which we have set out to self-discover at Aries, and we processed our inner relationship with ourselves, Taurus, and then we decided to understand the nature of communication and linguistics and everything, so we got to Gemini. And then at that point in time, we started to discover our sense of identity. And now we've all got these sort of like components necessary for us to actually be creative and expressive. And so that's exactly what Leo comes and does. It is the creative self-expression. It's the actualization of the four symbols that came before. So it's the total manifestation of it. It's now you go out and you do what it is that you created, whatever it is that you discovered, and you present yourself, you express yourself. So the Leo energy, from the point of view of the Zodiac, is the energy of self-expression. It is there to present yourself, which is why whenever you come across anybody that's got a sun sign in Leo, for instance, or some strong planets in Leo, you'll see that there's a strong element of presentation. This is who I am. This is how I'm presenting myself. And it will correlate, specifically to areas of in businesses like marketing. You'll see a Leo boss, for instance, will have his name gold plated, etc., or something specific that highlights it over there. It's because their natural consciousness, or their natural way of being, is to specifically highlight something. So another good example would be to take a loudhailer and to speak through that loudhailer so that you can gain attention. So the next process within Leo, or in the archetype of the fifth house and the sun, is to be as bright and as bold and as expressive as possible so that you attract attention to you. And that attraction of attention to yourself obviously allows for you to be identified within groups. And this is the polarity point within Leo, which I'll get on to a bit later, but not to confuse the subject. So again, points over here: Leo, creative self-expression. I've taken my identity, I've taken my logical mind, I've taken my needs and how I value myself, etc., and my sense of identity, and now I'm going to express it. So Leo correlates to that. Leo, in a sense, also then, when you're looking at the nature of the sun sign, or if you have Leo, Pluto in Leo, for instance, which isn't really something that's probably going to be a large part of people that are watching this video, because they're all sort of in their 50s and 60s. But the Leo will correlate to an underlying feeling of a special destiny, a sense that there is something special about themselves, and that they have come here to fulfill this destiny, as it were. And the reason why that relationship exists is because there's a natural connection between Pisces and Leo within the zodiac, and it's that energy of magic, Pisces, that gets infiltrated into the Leo archetype, that gives it this appeal that it has got something magical, and there is a sense of destiny attached to Leo in itself, which is the truth. They do have some form of special destiny that they have to offer, and in fact every single one of us that has got in some way form Leonic energy in us has got that expression. And so that's why we have these goals, dreams, and ambitions, etc., which are all correlating to the connection between Pisces and Leo. And it is that experience that allows a lot of Leos to then put themselves in a situation in which they feel that they are, in a sense, ego-based, right? And in one sense, rightfully so. It's just because the evolutionary intent of the soul or the consciousness has not reached the point yet where it understands society. Okay, so the energy the pulse or energy field or evolutionary intent has only got to the point of self-identification, which is why Leonic energy can only see itself. It's blinded by its own light of magnificence and brilliance and pure, and such. So these are all sort of qualities that are associated with Leo in that way, and they're not necessarily negative. It's just the way that the energy is set up relative to its evolutionary intent. Positive things, let me put it to you this way: things that are awesome about Leo, because of the fact that it's got this Pisces interaction with it, and of course the trine to Aries and such like that, is that it correlates to this warm-heartedness. It's the sun, so it's love, it's the love vibration, and it also, in a sense, is also about warmth. And if you just think of a cubs, for instance, like lion cubs, for instance, you can just imagine the type of experience that I'm talking about over here. So there's a lot of softness, and there's a lot of joy and happiness and social playfulness that is associated with the fifth house in Leo and the sun combinations, which is awesome, especially in the children, because the fifth house in Leo, in a sense, does rule the children archetype as well, your inner child, right? And so that is a very, very big part of the Leo archetype as well, is the inner child aspect that relates to children. And so in the zodiac we also have the opposition. So in other words, the polarity point, or 180 degrees of Leo, is Aquarius. And Aquarius is our ability to individually understand ourselves within the context of a group. And it's the relationship between Leo and Aquarius that teaches us this nation. And also, at the same time, it is exactly how we as parents need to look at our children as also individual beings separate from ourselves, rather than going to be something that we feel we need to make them. I.e., I'm a lawyer, so therefore my child needs to be a lawyer. We have to sort of try to understand their own individuality and their own sort of gifts and uniquenesses and such. So that's also another aspect of Leo in itself that correlates to this archetype. If you haven't watched my video called The Fixed Signs, where I explain in detail the nature of how Leo works from a subjective point of view, in other words, Leo also correlates to the subjective sense of identity, how I'm relating to myself, then I suggest you guys go check that out over there. I'll actually put a link on the video as well. This packed with loads of information about how that works, so you can see more about Leo in itself. But sort of again from the perspective of Leo and its magnificence, it is the ultimate energy pattern of self-actualization. It's the creation. It's look at me, look how I am, and it's about attraction. It also can correlate to the starving artist syndrome, where if Leo is not actively basically presenting itself or actualizing itself within the group and understanding group dynamics, like I've got something special to offer, but where can I fit in, versus I've got something to offer, I'm brilliant, I control, or this is where it is that's controlling the groups. And Leo, if done on the dark side, can create the starving artist syndrome, where it will create drama and events in which it will feel sorry for itself because it is not actually getting the attention that it so craves. And it will go to any lengths to do that. Again, the Pisces in conjunct to Leo causing that problem, as well as the connection between Capricorn as well. So there is that control factor. Whereas when Leo is activating itself on its highest frequency, it's creating mass amounts of loudness and attention and attraction. And it's an awesome thing to see. It's a fire energy. So it's part of the spirit as well, you know. So those are the two sort of like dynamics that are mainly sort of expressed when it comes to Leo. Okay, everybody. I think that was something, or parts of the Leo archetype, which I feel are quite insightful. I hope that's kind of like stimulated some interest and some thoughts about the nature of it. I do evolutionary astrology, so a lot of my descriptions are rooted in the more sort of unique and deeper aspects of the archetypes themselves. And you know, so if it has done that for yourself, come over to my website that you can see at the bottom over there, simonvorster.com, and read about the stuff that I do as well. And at the same time, if you are interested in wanting a reading from me, click on the readings tab, and I've got all my information there, including my prices and everything. And book a reading with myself to understand more about the archetype itself. If you have that in your chart, or you're a Leo yourself, I can do a specific video that just correlates to Leo in itself for you as well. And also, like I said, check out my website on some other things that I've done, like for instance some of my writings that I've done on evolutionary astrology itself. And if it's excited you, then you know, contact me, and let's see if you're interested in wanting to learn more about it and such. And if you've liked the content that I brought you, please hit the like and subscribe button. That would be greatly appreciated, everybody. Until then, thanks very much for taking the time to come over and look at what I have to say today. And until then, take care. Bye bye, everybody.